Hey guys, this is Leah with Journey Through Life Photography and 757 Homeschool Helper. I haven't been on in a while. I just wanted to come on and just encourage everyone. I know, unfortunately, that with COVID and everything going on, a lot of you are deciding to homeschool next year. And as a homeschool mom, I have been homeschooling now for 3 years. Going on our 4th year this upcoming school year, and I know it can be a challenge. I know every year I consider my curriculum and everything that I'm going through, and it can be very overwhelming. When I first got into homeschooling, it was very stressful and overwhelming and hard to decide on curriculums and all that. The first thing I just want to tell you is you can do it. You can do it. You will make it through. You're not going to screw your kid up. You can do this. The second thing is curriculum is overwhelming, and that's just what it is. There are lots of helpful resources out there. Just the biggest thing I would suggest to really consider in your homeschooling are 2 different things. One is your child's learning style and how they learn, and the second one is a little bit, I guess you'd almost say selfish, but not really because you're the teacher, is what is practical for you as the teacher or mom that you can handle and manage teaching your children. So those are the 2 biggest things that help me decide my curriculum is 1, what's my child's learning style, and 2, what can I physically and mentally handle in teaching my kids. Do they need to be very independent, or is it something that certain subjects that I know I'm going to have to sit down with them and really dive into together. And my kids are going in 3rd grade and 4th grade, and then I'll have a rising kindergarten. So the other thing is, what subjects can we do together? I use a hodgepodge of curriculums, and if you want to ask me the curriculums, you can comment below, and I'd be happy to share the curriculums I have tried. But just know that it's going to be overwhelming, but that's okay. And once you get into it, after a couple weeks, you'll find your groove and everything will start to run smoothly. So again, those 2 things to help you choose your curriculum. And then another thing is, when I first started, I used to be a brick and mortar teacher, teaching physical education to 600 students a day. And I loved that part of buying school supplies and decorating my classroom, which was ginormous because it was a gym, and going overboard on decorating. Kind of did that same thing when I went to homeschooling. It's fun, you can't pass a school supply section without wanting to buy something. I still get that itch. But my first year, I dedicated a whole room to our homeschooling and went crazy with posters everywhere and doing lots of activities and circle time and carpets and everything. And this doesn't necessarily translate to every homeschool mom. That's the beauty about homeschool mom or dad, is that everybody does it differently. And my first year, for me, it was too much. I went overboard. And as I started getting into the groove more, I realized that I was not using a lot of the things that I had bought. I was not using a lot of the manipulatives that I had bought, and even some of the posters. And I realized I only needed a few key posters. And by this stage, we don't have any posters up. I actually have a president's poster in my kids' room so that they can know their presidents, because they go through the president's song with CC, which is Classical Conversations. But really, we've gotten it down to, they have a 3-ring binder. One of those, if you grew up in the 90s, they were Trapper Keepers, which was so cool at the time. But so my kids literally have a zip up 3-ring binder that stores the majority of their work. And then they have their few extra math or science book that they do extra, or their language arts book. But it's basically gotten down to, we can carry whatever we have in that binder and add maybe 1 or 2 books for a backpack, and which has been life-saving for us, because that means if we're on the go or it's a nice day out, it's so easy to just pack everything up and run to the park and do our school at the park. And a lot of times what I can do is we'll do our school, and then after they get done with either a certain time frame of work or a certain section of work, I'll say, okay, now you have 5 minutes on the playground. Just run off some steam and then come back and we'll keep working. So it's been helpful to teach them time management and that aspect too, and that we have gone through and really learned different flexibility, way to be flexible in homeschooling, because that's the biggest key in homeschooling, is being flexible. That's the perk, is that you can tailor it to each child. And then for me personally, we've used a curriculum for our language arts and our science and our history that we can do as a large family. Well, we're not large, we only have 3 kids, but that we can all do together. And it saves me time because I'm a photographer and I also teach online throughout school. And so I have a lot of different hats that I wear, plus the normal of just keeping up with the house. So I need stuff that helps me knock out, multiple things at one time, and then things that my kids can do independently. So feel free to comment with any questions that you have, anything that you've tried that worked really well for you, any tips that can help these new parents coming into homeschooling. Even if it's virtual homeschooling for you and you're still using the public school online, that's a possibility too. So, and sorry, you can probably hear my 5-year-old in the background. The reality of a work from home mom. So, all right, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also the bell to get notifications. Okay, bye.